Hello, hello, hello. Hi, my power people. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Power Time. This is Sharon Herbert, the Power RN, coming to you live from Power in Nursing. And so this is our first official Power Time that we set up this forum so that we could just touch base on a weekly basis about what's going on in nursing. And we have a variety of topics, but we just want to keep it brief. And I thank you all for dropping by for a few minutes to talk about what's going on in nursing. As we share our weekly posts, we come across a number of things that are going on. And even though there are 24 hours in a day, there is usually not enough time to share everything about what's going on in the world of nursing. So here we are again. We're here at Power Time. So we're sharing things about our lives as nurses. One of the things that we can always share is about the nurse's profile. So, again, I've been a registered nurse for a good long time. And in the course of that time, one of my favorite topics, I love the clinical work, but I also love teaching and I love to talk about nursing. So I am always at the ready, and my friends know, to talk about what we do and who we are. And as most of us have put in the work, put in those years of nursing school, we find that when we get to the world, sometimes people have no idea what we do. And I have found it's not funny as in haha, but it's interesting that it does seem that more people than ever are listening and looking to see who we are and what we do. So, one of the things we can do is to keep them listening and learning about who nurses are and what nurses do. So, I will call that today. We're going to brush up on our profile and talk about raising the status of professional nurses worldwide and especially here in the US. And most of us can know, whether you're in the workplace or not, that the pandemic has changed the flow of what we do, and people are listening and looking. We've been at this, we're coming up to 10, 11, we're going to 1 year of this pandemic. And our role in the pandemic has made people look and listen a little more. So we have to keep them engaged in recognizing who we are and what we do. Because many folks see us as handmaidens. Oh, all right, the nurse. Well, I'm not sure which one that is. Sure, it's not that guy over there because I think he's a doctor, right? Yeah, he's a doctor. Oh, what do you mean? He's a nurse? Well, I didn't know guys could be nurses. Yes, guys can be nurses. So we'll keep them in the loop with recognizing what our profession looks like and how it may have changed in their lifetime. But as we go along, we have to help them again see the big picture about who we are. So we make sure that we introduce ourselves to our clients as a professional nurse, and you can speak to your title and let your clients or patients know that you are a registered nurse. That's really a helpful piece of information. So keep them engaged with that. You're a registered nurse and your name is Sharon. And just keep them engaged with that so they know who to connect to and they can recognize that. In my opinion, people still don't know that a lot. So let's be just a little more insistent on at least sharing that information. You don't have to do more than that. You don't have to beat them over the head. But let's let them know who we are and what we do. And we know that we represent the heart of the healthcare team. So help your clients see and know what you do, that you are the head of your team of nurses and you all have a vital role in the healthcare team. You know that they can't do it without you. And especially during this pandemic time, I see and hear that many leaders of organizations, and they may or may not be healthcare providers, they may be business persons, they say, oh, well, we need more nurses. But they still don't know what you do. And they don't know where you come from, and they don't know what your value is and what your worth is. So they just think, oh, we can get more nurses. I'll use my favorite example in the state of Florida. The governor said, oh, well, we'll just get some more nurses. And someone asked where they would come from. And he was kind of stumped. So he had no real answer. Let's make sure they know that we have gone to school for a requisite number of years, not moments, not weeks or days, years, to become registered nurses. And so we have that education to back it up. And that we run many programs, especially in the pandemic. We have our own educational foundation and we work to control many of the programs that are in place in the pandemic. So we can talk about infection control and how our team functions. We can tell our own stories. We all have one, at least, about problems we've solved or strategies that we have implemented. My favorite one is the nurse that created the ability to facilitate moving the IV pumps outside the room and extending the tubing so that each nurse didn't have to fully dressed in PPE every 3 hours to reset the IV pump. And that is just brilliant. Just brilliant. No one who doesn't do that or hasn't had to do it would ever think of that. They would just watch you garb up every 3 hours and say, oh, yeah. And then at the end of that, procedure and process, they say, oh, we're running out of gowns. Well, ask a nurse. We'll solve a problem for you. So that still doesn't really mean that folks always know what we do. So how do we get more engaged with our public on a wider setting? One of the things that we can do is to help our nurse leaders tell people what we do. So how about sharing some of our stories and strategies with our nurse leaders and to help facilitate and help them actually decide how they will share the stories by participating in some of the government health conferences and even some of the press conferences. I really think that if nurses were at the front line of, I'll just say, I'll use warp speed, we would have so much better process and things going on. Really, no one can facilitate the policy procedure and guidelines for any process that we do that they have not done ever. You can't get it out of a book because that doesn't show you the extension tubing to the IV tubing. But help your nurses get the information and the stories and the events to share in the general public settings, conferences, with set that up with the TV channels. You can do news. Yeah, we can do news. We can do news in the morning. Good Morning America, and share what nurses do. So it's really important that we get the word out so that people are interested and engaged and they know what it is to be a nurse and they can understand what we do, how we serve, how we are rewarded through our service, and that the full time positions are something that the profession is really looking for filling. Short staffing has been a problem, and we don't want to drag people through the mud and tell them all the dirty stories, but let them know that we are worthy and we are valuable and that there's a place for everyone. So let the public know and help your leaders share that information. You continue to grow your storytelling uh, action and your programs and share your information. So we thank you, of course, for sharing Power Time. This year, actually, the WHO has a report that is looking as well to share more information about the roles of nurses and to help folks understand where there is a place for them. So let's do more active sharing and roll people in the direction of fulfilling maybe their life's dream that they had no idea about. So let's shine the light on nursing straight away. Shine the light so that people see the glory and that we can let them know that there's a place for them. So every Saturday, we'll be talking about something new in the profession of nursing, helping people get more knowledge and information, support, and even virtual hugs. We work hard and we do what we do because we love it. Who knew when they were in kindergarten, like I was, that I really, really was going to be that nurse that I dreamed of? It's here. The public needs to know who we are and what we do. And let's work together to pump up our volume and share the information. So, again, the Power RN here, straight from Power in Nursing. You can find me and the rest of our group on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and even Twitter. I still have my account. Yes, it's valid. And let's share more information. I love nursing, and I've been a nurse for a long, long time. I still love teaching it. I love mentoring, coaching, and even telling the stories about how wonderful nurses are. So I'll be doing that for quite a time, and I will love every moment. If you have a question or you want to share your story, reach out to the Power RN on Facebook, or you can find us on the internet at powerinnursing.com. So, love you all, and I'm so glad to be here with you today on Power Time. Thank you so much. And if you have comments, you can share those as well. So thank you again for joining us at Power Time. See you on next Saturday, 4 p.m. And don't forget, I almost forgot, but don't forget that we're still having the pajama party. So we had a little good time last night. It was our first, but we'll be having one every Friday for the month of January. We're celebrating a new year for the nurses, nurses who have survived the previous year. You are all worth it and worthy. We'll have stories. We'll have a short lecture and we'll have gifts and prizes. So come on down. You'll see more invitations on the Power RN and Power in Nursing website. So God bless you, and we'll see you at the PJ party. Bye bye now.